All right, hello, how are y'all? I'm Dr. Lyle Stevenson. We're going to be demonstrating how to document electronically within Memorial's McKesson system. So to start off with, we're changing a lot of stuff. We're trying to make it where it's as easy as possible to go from documenting within the paper chart to documenting within the computer system. We are essentially taking away the paper chart. We'll have a folder. We're going to have some stuff left over in the folder because as try as I might, we can't get rid of all the paper. There will be stickers in that folder to where you can have a record, or if you need to label a consent or anything like that, that can be left in there. Also in the folder will be the newborn screening form, the hearing screening form, and a newborn admission history or newborn admission summary. I have got an example of that here. We have this normally already. It's got our maternal history, our prenatal labs, antibiotic prophylaxis, our APGARs, and how we're resuscitated, as well as initial measurements on the child. The thing that's added to this is going to be this chart here with the screening tests that need to be done on the baby. This is moved from the current admission history, or the current history and physical form. Okay, so whenever you get to your workstation, your laptop at the Gaucher campus, the first thing we're going to do is click the Memorial Physician Portal icon. I'm logging in remotely, so I don't have to do that part. But this will open up this screen, and you're going to type in LCMH / your username, or / your username, and then type in your password. Then we're going to click Clinician Hub. It's going to come up a little bit easier than it's coming up for me right now because you'll be within the system, whereas I'm logging in remotely. And in a moment, that'll all pop up. And we're going to review how to do orders within the system, as well as show you how to document on a patient. It's logging me into the clinician viewer. Okay, so here's our just general workstation. Okay? And I've had them add baby tests to my patients, and I'm the attending on this. And this is how things are going to kind of look whenever you log in. If you open this screen, I can tell that I have an order to be done. Okay. This is on another another test patient that I had, Gandalf. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to bulk sign it off. And whenever we sign off orders, now there aren't any here. That's a little glitch in the system, but that's okay. You click to make sure that you got everything signed off, and then close once there'd be a select all button, a little radio button here to click, and then click sign off down at the bottom. Then you close that. If you need anything to be changed to another physician, the nurses can help you with that. You can also you should be able to click this, and so we'll close down that. Now, if your patient is not listed on this list, if you're seeing something for one of your partners or anything like that, if you take your stickers out of the hard chart, the paper chart that we're still going to have, every patient has a unique visit ID. So if I wanted to search for this test baby patient, I could search 4545787, and I'd be able to see this baby's chart in this screen. Okay, so we're going to click the visit ID to get into the chart. Okay, and there's a number of things in here. There would be results here. There'd be vital signs if any vitals are taken. We're working on getting vitals that are going to cross over from the OB Tracefuse system into Paragon, but we're going to have to see how that goes. Okay, there will also be results here for anything that you may order, including your Coombs test and all that, and I'll show you how to get orders for anything else you might order. In the ordering section right here, we're going to click that. We'll see how to do basic orders. Everyone should have some favorite orders defaulted based on the fact that we're all doing pediatric medicine. The main one we use is the discharge order from the Well Baby Nursery. You'll click that, and you'll click discharge home with mom at a particular time period, 1 week, 2 weeks, to say your follow-up, send copy of the H&P, and then you click submit. I'm going to cancel for right now, though. Okay. You can also do frequently ordered labs, where you can order your CBCs, your total and direct bilirubin, your blood cultures, etc. Okay. There's also a consult neonatologist order that comes up if you click that one. So I'm going to cancel that order. If you do order something like a bilirubin and you don't have a nurse around to tell you what the result is, you can also go to the flow sheet. I found that's the easiest way to find those sorts of things, and you can click results. Anything that you order will come up in results, as well as if you order an X-ray that you might happen to want to look at, this will be under the results flow sheet as well, and there will be a little skeleton icon to where you can actually click on that icon and open the X-ray itself to view the image. All right, so the meat of this discussion is the documentation tab. Okay, so baby test doesn't have any documents that have already been written. This is the chart part of it. Whenever we write a note, this is where it's going to go in the documents. And so we've got all these note templates. Okay, there are going to be 3 notes that we need to make favorites. Now, I've already had these made favorites because I've been using the system for a little while. We're going to have a LCMH progress note newborn. We're going to make it favorite by clicking this grayed out flag. We're going to have an LCMH procedure note newborn. Again, the flag is clicked, and we're going to have to click that to make it favorite for us. And then the LCMH history and physical newborn. And if you go to favorite note templates, all these 3 are in there. And like I said, this is the lion's share of what we need to have for documentation. Okay, the LCMH history and physical newborn is your H&P that you'd write the first day of the admission, and then you can also switch to a progress note on subsequent days, and some of the information will copy forward from the H&P into your progress note. The procedure note is mostly meant for circumcisions. Okay, so if we click the LCMH history and physical newborn, so that says create new document as I hover over it, and you'll go ahead and click that. So this opens a generic empty note. Okay, and we see that it's preliminary until we sign it off. All right. So I've got a bunch of stuff on here, and because we don't have strict criteria on what has to be on a newborn history and physical, essentially I've made it to where we can select what we want to do. Okay, how much work you want to put in on each one. So you got a subjective, your feeding, your family history, mother's pregnancy history, maternal labs, social history. We're working on getting this to fill in automatically, but you also have your spot to do your physical exam. We have a problem list and our plan. Okay, so we're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you 2 different options for doing it. So what we're going to do in order to make this easy is we're going to use macros. Macros are essentially computer shortcuts that allow us to have autofilled text that we can use to make things easier. Now, the kind of long way of doing this is to use our first macro. And macros always start with the @ sign. Okay, so I'm going to type in NBHX. We're going to have a list of these available on all the workstations that the pediatricians use in order to remind you of what these look like. So NBHX, and then I'm going to hit the space bar. And what that does is it fills in my newborn history field. And what I can do is I can add the baby's name, the mom's age, her G's and P's, delivered at this many weeks by the OB, assess the prenatal care, have rupture to membrane time, all that. And then I would add in feeding and family history. Down here at the maternal labs, I would do at mom lab, excuse me. And I could actually manually fill this in. Okay, I did this for the first time, and I quickly decided that I didn't want to do this. Okay, that newborn admission history that I said we're going to have on every chart. This has all of the information that we need, and this is actually included in what Memorial sends us as far as documentation when the baby's discharged, and that, send H&P to doctor's office. Okay, so what I did was I created a NB attest. And so what it says is I have reviewed the newborn admission summary and taken note of all pertinent pregnancy and delivery information. That is going to be our subjective, and usually I will write in something like GBS negative, doing well, breastfeeding, etc. Okay, I won't write etc. in my actual note, but here we are. Okay, and then that kind of covers us. And then on subsequent days, I would still do the NB attest, but I will say doing well today, likely to be discharged by OB. Okay, and then you can either tab down to the next section or you can scroll down. The next section that we'll do is the objective section. And with that, we're going to do at NBPE, newborn physical exam. And that brings up a just general physical exam for any baby. You can see that we do have a skin section if you want to type your jaundice in. I left this little placeholder in here that we want a normal Tanner 1 male or female. I do that to get your attention to make sure that you remember to document whether you have a newborn male or newborn female. But otherwise, this is just a standard newborn physical exam. So next we go to the problem list. And this is going to pop out a window. Okay? And this is kind of everything that's been added to this patient's problem list. So we're going to have to go to add. Okay? I have things that are already listed in here. Okay? If this patient had any problems, they would appear up here, but we're going to be adding them now. And you can either search, but as you start searching, it's going to add things into your current to use for the next time. So if you type in single live-born infant and you use it on this patient, it's going to be available for the next patient. We're going to click save, and we're going to save that. And we could add another if the baby had jaundice. We could do that, but right now I'm just going to click save. I'm going to click close. And now on our assessment, it's got our problem list. Single live-born infant delivered vaginally. So on our H&P, I'm going to do at NBPL for our plan. Okay, so this has just a generic plan for every baby. I adjust these on every single baby I do, and that's why number 1 is left blank. If this patient is not eligible for discharge at 24 hours, I delete number 7. Okay, I write in must wait 24 hours. If the patient can be discharged in 24 hours, I'm going to undo a bunch of this stuff. I would say routine newborn care discharge if mother discharged. Okay, and then if everything's done, I'll go down and we're going to click here to sign. It opens up a window that allows you to send it to another doctor if you are a resident or something like that. We're going to skip that because we're not residents. Okay. The next day, if I went to if this patient's still here, I'd go to the progress note again. And it pulls everything up. And it's still going to have our problem list there, and we'd have to do subjective and all that. If you decide you don't want to write a note, you're going to click this red X up here, the stop sign, and click Close Document. Okay. The other note template we have is the procedure note. This is just a blank note. And we're going to have 2 options here. We're going to either have at NB GOMCO, which has places for you to fill out for a typical procedure note, or for those folks that like doing something different, at NB Mogan. Okay, and again, once you're done with that, you go down to click here to sign and click skip. All right, after you're done with that, you're going to X out of the documentation window and close out of this patient's chart and go back to your census, and that's where you would find your next baby that you need to document or order on. Okay, I think this is as simple as I can make it. If anybody has any suggestions, please feel free to get a hold of me. Okay, thank you so much.